Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fairy Tale 100 Years Quest, Chapter 94. When we last left our heroes, Elefseria whisked off to this labyrinth place with Team Natsu in tow, and on the way gave them a big old exposition dump about Dogramag, the sixth of the five dragon gods, who Elefseria himself was able to kill long ago, before even putting out the 100 Years Quest, which is why he had never mentioned him before now. The problem is that his power, after Dogramag died, started shaping the land into a great labyrinth, and that Elefseria's heart was lost in the battle, and is somewhere in the labyrinth. And so if Diabolos captures the labyrinth, they could get that labyrinth power from Dogramag, as well as the infinite well of knowledge that comes with the Law Dragon powers, including a certain negative legacy that was used in the self-defense of wizards, which almost certainly was created by Elefseria, though we're kind of keeping that quiet for now. Anyway, the gang makes it to the labyrinth, and they find Gajeel, Lily, and Laxus there, for unexplained reasons, and then Selene comes out, tells them the game has begun, and that's sort of where we left off. So let's dive right on into Chapter 94, Battle Dungeon. I really like this cover, the shadings and the black and the white there with Natsu and Elefseria. It's really cool. It's just a really fucking cool cover. But yeah, we open kind of where we left off with Gajeel and Laxus reacting to Selene's statement. "What the hell are you talking about?" is Gajeel's reaction. And Laxus just kind of sort of calmly presses, "And why do you just bring the two of us here?" And Lily kind of chimes in, "I'm here too, you know." I mean, it's obviously because they're dragon slayers. Like, they can tell that, right? And Selene tells them, anyone would have been fine, as long as they were dragon slayers. And Elefseria asked, "What does that mean?" "Diabolos is now mine." Shocking, Team Natsu. Urza, "What? Gray, are you kidding?" And Lucy, "Why would a dragon take a guild that eats dragons?" "We share a common interest. Deep within this labyrinth lies Elefseria's heart, and I want it." And Elefseria presses, "For what reason?" And Selene, as she transforms back into her human form, "You ask, even though you can guess." Yeah, I mean, like, it's pretty obvious why she wants it, given last chapter. "What I want is information that you don't even have about the location of the childish human's weapon." Unhappy asks, "Is this the negative legacy that you mentioned earlier?" And Carla, "What do you mean he doesn't know?" "Through the power of the labyrinth, the power of his heart now exceeds the power of his body. However, if his body dies, this power will be lost." Okay, so she has to capture the heart before Elefseria dies. Okay. And Elefseria transforms back into his human form and just growls at Selene. And she casts some kind of spell, and Elefseria poofs away. "Be a dear and stay in a safe place." And the crow, whose name, Tokage, I think? "Ah! Elefseria-sama!" Natsu snaps, "Hey! Where do you send the old man?" And Selene tells them, "I can't have him committing suicide. Worry not. He will be safe until I get the heart." And Laxus, who has absolutely no context whatsoever for what's going on, just like whispers over to Lily, "Hey, I'm not following any of this." Lily also, "Indeed." But then Selene tells the group, "Didn't I just tell you? This is a game. There are 7 members of Diabolos, and 7 of you from Fairy Tale. And all the exceeds are just sort of left out of the equation." Carla notes, "She didn't count any of us." So I'm guessing we're going to get a pretty standard and hopefully still fun one-on-one arc kind of thing, as the group sort of has to pair off to stop Diabolos from getting to the heart, which will be fun. I'm curious how the other 3 Diabolos members fit into the mix, and I'm always excited to have Gajeel and Laxus back. Whatever, like, you know, whatever kind of stretching Mashima has to do to get more of the cast involved in 100 Years Quest, I'm here for it. Like, I'm glad Laxus and Gajeel are here. It doesn't quite make sense, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm glad they're here. Anyway, Selene goes on, a 7-on-7 battle dungeon. The first team to find the heart is the winner. And Natsu's just raring to go. Whoa, that sounds kind of fun. And Gajeel just snaps at him. It's not supposed to be fun. And then turns back to Selene, as Gajeel still just does not have a single answer. And who the hell are you? And Wendy asks, you won't be participating then? And Selene tells her, think of me as the sponsor. I'll be observing you from here. And Urza draws her blade. You must be joking. I will cut you down here and now. I'm not sure that Urza really can, especially by herself, given how much Suzaku struggled and was completely powerless against Selene's dragon form, and given how Suzaku so easily cut Urza down. Anyway, Selene tells her, bring me the heart, and I'll gladly be your opponent. And Laxus is still just so out of it. He just says, I still don't get what's going on, but the point is we gotta beat 7 guys in that labyrinth, right? And Gray notes, I feel at ease if Laxus is here. And Lucy says to, I think, Selene, your expectations might be a bit off. I guess that they have such faith in Laxus that they think Laxus is just gonna steamroll the whole thing. They might be overestimating Laxus slightly. I don't really think Laxus can steamroll everyone, but okay. Anyway, Selene just notes, as long as I enjoy myself, it's fine. Whether you win, or if both sides die, the heart is mine to take. This is all simply entertainment until then. And Urza just glares, as Selene just ignores her. The rules are simple. Take the heart and escape. Oh, and there are 2 other rules. Firstly, the entrance will be blocked until one side is wiped out. In other words, until all 7 from either side is defeated, escape is impossible. Secondly, you mustn't destroy the heart. I'll be keeping an eye on you in case you try anything. You understand, right? Elefseria, who I sent to another dimension earlier, I would have no use for him anymore. And Tokage just sort of shudders at that. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! I have relayed these rules to Diabolos. They have already begun exploring the labyrinth. And we see, the spell earlier, how did I miss this, was an Aqua Era that we see her casting again, now on the rest of the group, as they all teleport. What the? Natsu shock grazed the what the. Lucy notes, this is, and Wendy, magic for moving across space? Gajeel, it's the magic that sent us here. And Urza just growls, but where will we go next? And Laxus seems calmer than really everyone else. Really? This is how we're going into the labyrinth? I like that everyone is so, serious. Team Natsu's been in this for a while. Gajeel just always has that kind of, energy vibe. Laxus is just so chill. He's here to have a good time. He's gonna fight some bad guys. He's gonna kick some ass. It'll be fun. He's enjoying himself in a way that really no one else is. Now then, let the game begin. And with that, the group is teleported. Wah! Wah! Oh! And Selene just sort of grins and then turns her attention on Tokage. And just asks him, real politely, would you care to join me in drinking tea while watching? And Tokage just freaks, eep! And she creates another little visual portal. Look, you can see what's inside here. And we get our first look of the Great Labyrinth of Dogra, overrun by trees, which fits Dogra's status as an Earth Dragon, I guess, though it's hard. Actually, it fits less given that Alderaan exists, and there's, already a Wood Dragon. But whatever, it works. Anyway, we open with Gajeel and Carla. Okay. I got dragged into some kind of BS again. And Carla notes, we're inside the Great Labyrinth. And with that, the 2 of them just now notice each other, that they've been paired off. Wait, you're not Lily! And Carla, you're not Wendy! Hey, White Cat, switch out with Lily! And Carla fumes. Carla fumes. What sort of nonsense is that? Where's Wendy? And where are the others? And she looks around. Could it be we were transferred here separately? And we then cut to somewhere else, where Wendy is just calmly holding on to Lily like he's Carla. As they're both really awkward, and Wendy realizes what she's done, and drops Wendy. I'm sorry, I thought you were Carla! And Lily looks away, kind of blushing, with like the sweat drop on his head. It's fine. Still, what an ominous place. And Wendy looks around. I sense some kind of strange magic. And then we come somewhere else, this time with Urza and Gray. So I figured it was going to be at least the humans were all separated one-on-one. Maybe like the X-seeds were sort of, spread out randomly. But I didn't think we'd see any human characters paired off like this. But it's Gray and Urza together. Urza looks around. It seems we've been separated from everyone else. And Gray adds on, we're in a tough spot. The Labyrinth is complex. There's no way of knowing if we can all get back together. And Urza though kind of tempers that. No. We have 4 Dragon Slayers. With their noses, they may be able to find us. And Gray notes, so basically that means that all of our opponents would be able to find us too. Right, because all of their opponents are Dragon Slayers as well. So they can very easily be found, but they can't really find anyone. And Urza tells him, don't ever lower your guard. Don't stray from me. And she holds out her hand. Do you want me to hold your hand for you, like in the old days? And Gray grabs his face. It's scary because you really mean it. I will say, I do miss callbacks to their childhood. It's been a long time since we've had a gag like that. It's just a nice reminder of like the lives these characters have spent together. It's a good bit. Also, it's cute. It's a good time. Anyway, we then cut to somewhere else in the labyrinth. We're with Natsu and Happy now. As Natsu is just raring to go, still has that full on. I just love fighting energy. Taking this dungeon by storm, 7 enemies. Hey. This development gets me all fired up! But Happy, tempers him. Don't forget that Elefseria is being held hostage. And then they hear a voice. Natsu! Happy! And the two of them react. Happy notes, that's Lucy's voice. So I don't know if any of the other Dark Dragon Knights can do this, because we know Suzaku can't. But I can definitely see this being, the two of them are lured by a voice that sounds like Lucy, but it turns out to be the enemy. I think that might be right about to happen. But let's see. Or not, no, because Lucy calling, help me, is stuck in the wall. Only half of her is appearing? Okay. I mean, I'm glad she didn't get cut in half. That would be really, really awkward. But she's just stuck in the wall. Natsu and Happy pause for a moment, shocked at the circumstance, before finally bursting out laughing. And Lucy gets on to them. Wait, don't just sit there and laugh. Help me. And Natsu just can't stop laughing. Why are you stuck in the wall? And Happy, wall Lucy. Wallu for short. And Lucy's just so angry. That woman. She makes it seem like she can cast transportation magic, but she failed. And we see she's fuming, smoke coming out of her ears. Natsu and Happy are still laughing. Wallu is mad Happy, even though she's a wall. And Lucy snaps, I'm not a wall. So we see the wall she's behind is very thin. It's just a random wall in the middle of the labyrinth. Natsu goes behind it. What's it like in the back? And Lucy calls, wait, stop! And it's exactly what you'd expect. It's just her ass and her legs. And Natsu giggles. Teehee, it's her butt. And Lucy snaps, what else would you expect? Natsu comes back around. Whatever, just hurry up and help me. And Natsu asks, how? Natsu, you can bash through a wall, right? And Natsu kind of pauses, but this is funny to see. And Lucy just snaps, you are planning to leave me stuck for your own entertainment? And Natsu just, with that joke aside, gets down to business and just punches the wall. Take that! But it doesn't really break. And so Natsu just pounds on it over and over again. Arrgh! But there's only a little bit of scorching on the wall. But the wall is still standing. All of Natsu's strength in the wall is completely okay. Natsu reacts, what is this wall? And Happy, it can't even be broken with your strength, Natsu? And Lucy, my bad. Lucy notes, it can't be. Oh, here's an opponent. Maybe who put Lucy in the wall. It's the little one, the little dark dragon knight whose name I'm gonna go see if I can find real fast. Near the end of 92, I remember. Whose name is Haku. Haku, I'm assuming it's Haku at least. She's still in silhouette. It's strange, isn't it? The walls of this labyrinth cannot be broken with any sort of force. Oh, so maybe it was just, it really is just bad luck. But that means Lucy's kind of stuck there. And Lucy and Natsu are shocked with the new arrival. But that's to be expected, right? If the walls, if they could be broken, it wouldn't be a labyrinth. Hey, I'm Haku, the white tiger dragon. I'm one of Diabolos' dark dragon slayer knights. Just like smiles all peacefully at them. And Natsu notes, Diabolos? A kid like this? And Haku tells him, don't worry, I'll get that girl out of the wall. And we see her magic kind of, starts to swirl around Lucy, who squeals, Kya! Happy screams, Lucy! This... And as the smoke clears, Lucy is turned into a doll. Like the guy from Little Big Planet is the vibe she gives off. What's happening to me? To be continued. Okay, so we are barreling right into this new arc. It's really just, a chance for some fun fights. Let's leave it at that. Some fun fights. The first half of the chapter is pretty... It's more of the exposition we saw in the previous chapter, though less lore-based and more like, here are the rules of this arc-based. We have Selene arriving, being like, I'm here for the heart. I brought in the other Dragon Slayers because they're A, Dragon Slayers, and B, I wanted the 7-on-7 thing going on. And also, you're gonna have to fight the seven Diabolos members in the Labyrinth, the Team Scullion, and the Dark Dragon Slayer Knights. And also, I'm poofing Elefseria to another dimension, so you can't just run away, and so he can't kill himself and end the game. It's a lot of exposition. There's not a whole lot to really dig into there. But then everyone, is teleported into the Labyrinth, and that's also still just a lot more table setting until the very end. We see sort of some of the pairings. I love the X-Seed gags. We get some good comedy out of that. I'm really honestly excited to see Gajeel and Carla together. I think they might be a really fun pair. They're both sort of... It's weird to call Carla hot-headed, but we can see just looking at the top of 14 the way she sort of mirrors Gajeel. And the same sort of thing with Lily and Wendy. They're both kind of quiet, more reserved members of their partnerships. I'm really looking forward to seeing those X-Seed pairs work together, and maybe we'll actually get to see Lily have a fight, because Lily never fucking fights. I've long felt that the sudden mascotification of Lily post Edelus is one of my least favorite things Mashima has done in this series. And so I'm always hoping we're gonna get a Lily fight. We'll see if we do. But again, more table setting there, sort of introducing the Wendy-Lily pair. We see some Grey Urza things. If there are still any Greyza shippers in the world, I bet y'all really enjoyed those couple of pages. And I was thinking earlier what the pair-offs I thought we were going to get. And Urza was kind of a weird one for me, because I thought there was no way she wouldn't get paired off with Kiria again, but I also thought there was no way she wouldn't fight Suzaku. And now that she's in a pair with Grey, they might run into Kiria and Suzaku, allowing Urza to kind of have both fights. Maybe. I'm, again, completely speculating here. But yeah, then we have Natsu and Lucy. And there's a lot of fun in the wall gag. I like that Natsu sort of teases her for the wall and makes a whole show over not doing anything to save her. But then he saves her anyway. He was never really going to leave her there. He'll have some fun at his friend's expense, but he always saves them in the end. It's a nice bit, even if it doesn't actually come to anything, because Natsu can't break the wall, or no one can. So it's honestly really nice of Haku to free Lucy. Because if Haku hadn't come by, I guess Lucy would have just, like, fucking died, right? So thanks, Haku. You're still gonna get your ass whooped by the fight's end, I reckon. But for now, we have to see what kind of... I guess she's like a doll Dragon Slayer. Because she turns Lucy into a doll. That's sort of where we leave off. It actually also... I'm trying to remember... What was his name? Like, Kind Hikaru from Tenro. He had some kind of doll power, but it wasn't quite... He didn't turn people into dolls, right? He just, like, used dolls to hurt people, I think. It's been a while since I watched Tenro. But yeah, that's where we leave off with the first, like, matchup of this arc, beginning of Natsu and Haku running into each other, and we start this fight, and Lucy's the doll now, and who knows how this is all going to play out. I'm sure it'll be fun to see going forward. But again, this is just a lot of table setting, finally leaving us off with a fight in, like, 2 weeks' time. But yeah, all in all, it's a fine chapter. I'm excited to see what happens next, but for now, it's just sort of there. So yeah, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, you know, do whatever makes you happy, you know? And as always, your life is your own, okay? Bye!